Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University.
Namaskar students, myself Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Upadhyay, Assistant Professor, Department Journalism and Mass Communication. Today we are discuss about the paper number 2, MJMC, Mass Communication Journalism and Mass Communication Journalism. I will discuss about the paper number 2, Understanding Media, Mass Communication and Journalism. Before I discussed in the part 1, and today I will continue the paper number 2 and the part 2 unit number 6. So, let us continue. The unit number 6 part number 2, the medium of communications. First of all, friends, you know very well this unit focuses on the differences of medium of communications: print, radio, visual, electronic, digitals, and space, and a lot of platforms came in the today's journalism. Ancient times and medieval times, that times not too much availability, but this times the present scenario, a lot of huge platforms available of the journalism and the audience. Everyone can make a journalist as a play a crucial role in the society. After completion these units will get the find like understand the difference of medium of communications, pick of the medium specific skills, look at the border of spectrum of communication and understand which mediums you would be specifically interested in, conclude that each mediums is different and has its own set of the followers, but the commonality lies in the underlying objectivity of all these mediums with determinations of information. Like you know very well, after the completion the units, what is your interest and where you find, where you have stands, what is the features of the journalism, and what you will play in the future in the society, for society and for the self. Students, before we have discussed about the many platforms such as different portions of the media. Like today we will discussing about in the continuations of part of 2, definitions of new media. What is the new media? What is the call of the new media? You know very well, new media includes traditional media and online, exclusively online, only websites, news, and its related the events presented in multimedia formats such as the text, audio, video, photo, informations of graphics, or anything that its source, however, raw edited materials. And after the editing the portions, you can play the main features of the audience. And social media sites that are emerging in continuations of the trusted platforms to post once the grievances or shares on the plight and interested public and citizens too. It is your responsibility and your role, like you play the, what is the play of the society, what you will give up the society in the through the digital platforms, digital writing. Another you say on famous quotation, a journalist must learn about the going digital event if he is the working in the legacy media houses. They must use new ways of the telling a story using a feature like Facebook, like Periscope, because like friends, you know, like you are a journalist, you don't think about like this, what is the people saying about you, what is the narratives running about running your backside. You continuous you should continue playing your role in the society. You uses the like the different platforms such as the Facebook, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, short video, and different features. When you will use like these kinds of features, then you will get the after some times the better for the last video and the current video. And this is the new features are like electronic features like this current scenario you know day by day new technology, new scenario coming in the technology with the modernization. So you don't like you don't stand in the back side, you don't stand like the sideway, because of if you stand inside in the back side, then you will not play the crucial role. So here the hardest part of the, you don't be in the media to impress peers, you don't like this, what is the impressions, stop worrying about how the smart reporter friends will talking about like this, because everyone's know what is the role, what is the your role, and everyone's knows. So you need to lose the fears of the peer judgments, because in the digital world most of us are swimming naked, praying no one the notice. Every person's doing a swimming, so everyone's a naked, but not talking about like this. So don't think about like this, what persons, any watch guide or people are thinking about you. You continuous going on the keep you in work, so that you get the, you will when someone says those stupid journalists the job to losses their jobs, because but you don't think, pick a fight and you may be next. It may be you may be next, because of the some journalists like saying about and saying like this what are saying, what are doing these guys, but don't think about, you will need to the support, don't call other media folk prostitutes, you don't say any single words other people, even if you are hate them, but you don't say, because of you are don't see software engineers calling each other the cyber coolies, but disagree beaker, but don't sections for 128 the cheapen your soul yourself. The rise of the citizen journalism. What is the citizen journalism? Earlier the message always used to be one which the media decided it was the impossible for a reader to get touch with the editors of the traditional media to express his or the opinion. So these kinds of platforms open for everyone. So you go the digital platform and you play the role, and day by day new thought, new approach, and play the through social media and digital media, and provide the better role. The times have the drastically changed. Any citizens having an opinion or any issues of the news that matter can be directly share it with the masses through the social media. Scroll, scoop, hoop, buzz feeds, dialogues, news, laundry, the Quint are some of the popular online media startups of late. So like the features, print media, electronic media, digital media, space media, sports media, and you can go through the like the opinions, polls, advertisements, the all are things related to the people. So you can call like the citizen journalism. Like you continuations go through the evolution of the radio as a mass medium. The when came the first times like the radio, TV gives everyone an image, but radio gives birth to million images in a million brains. TV gives a particular image and play the like the TV, but radio gives birth the million of images. Like you can listen the like any sounds through the radio, so you can many images come in your mind, because of you can image, but like you can see the television or anywhere, so that's why you can find the only one image. Like an Italian Guglielmo Marconi is created as the inventor of radio. When the then Italian government showed no interest in this device, he moved to England and took out a prevent on this device. This was back in the 1895. A lot of credit also goes to the inventions of the telegraph as a radio technology initially began to wireless telegraphy. Look, firstly, when you listening anyone, like you have not any image, you cannot see, but you can create an image itself. But when you see the people, when you see the television or any theaters, you can go to the theaters and see the television or the theater. So that's why you can see the particular image with sound, but you can listening only image, then you can create the self image, particular images create the itself and the people. So that's why you that you have like thousands images, millions of images, because of you have created itself. You can comparison by people to people and citizen to citizens, like any event to events, like your comparison you have a lot of choices, but when you see the like televisions that times you have particular only one images. In the early 1940 to 50, the when television in India started taking the initial baby steps, like very slowly and gradually going on, the media observed back then the past judgment that the radio is soon going to die, as it will not be able to cope and the excitement of the seeing of motion pictures in the drawing hall. Radio proved the negative wrong, the constantly adopting the itself the new technology and modern day listeners. One of the prominent reasons why audio programs have succeeded in the creating an impact on masses, particularly in the rural India, is that transcends all hindrances linked to literacy. Even the illiterate persons can listen to the news and informations. When come like the scenario of 1940 and 50, that came to the television in India, but this is the very slow steps gradually going on that time. But that time this is the challengeable time of the radio, because of televisions one times create play a two roles, like you can see, you can listening, but radio only one things provided, like only you could listening. So that's why that times radio created the particulars negative things, negative thoughts, and create the new images and the new platforms and come through the positive things about the new flavors of the radio. So that's why he gradually survived the parallelly of the television. FM broadcasting. The FM broadcasting were introduced in Madras in 1977. However, on August 15, 1993, a FM channel was launched with the 9 hours of the radio times leased to the private producers. This was when the then government chose to the private the radio broadcasting sector. Before this, air dominated the radio broadcasting industry. That times air, All India Radio is the dominated that time, and the FM is the challengeable. That times the challengeable of the FM radio, because of the everywhere All India Radio is the dominated every sectors and every fields, and every person's like listening the All India Radio. But somewhere in 2000, when the government announced auctions of the 108 frequencies, while digital is growing expensively, private FM radio in India is growing at the formidable and 14.5%, and that is the 8 pi continues to be the 4%. However, the scenario is changing and the radio has the bright future in India. In this times is the quietly growing in the radio FM. After 2000s, gradually that times he was face this challenge. After gradually 14.5 and the 14.5 rates in the gradually growing up, and after 2 or 3 city open the new FM broadcasting, after continuous growing gradually going to radio channels and fatally growing the radio FM in the continuous way. In the All India Radio, air was set up in 1936. All India Radio air covers in the 99.20 of the country populations. Air home service comprises the 420 stations today located across the country, reaching the nearly 92% of the country's area and 99% 19 of the total populations. Air originated the program in the 23 languages and the 179 dialects. FM stands for the frequency modulations and AM stands from the aptitude model. This informations for you, because if know very well that what is the meaning of the FM, AM and the radio frequencies. Radio City Bangalore started on the July 3rd, 2001 is the India first private FM in the radio state. Previously I was talk about like what is the differences All India Radio and the FM broadcasting. And what is the role of the community radio? Community radio is often called the people's radio, for the peoples, by the peoples. Community radio was not legal in India until 2002. That times it is not legal because of the some technicalities through the governments. After the approval the community radio, here the this university the launches the recently previous year the community radio. Community radio is the particular for the society, the local society, because the educational purposes the open the all institutes such as the community broadcast can be the generally defined as those which are the independent, not for the profit, and the governed by and the service of the All India Radio. Air was the set of the 1936. All India Radio covers 99.20 of the country the populations. It can be you can say like about the All India Radio is the like the covers across the India, and it is the huge marketing and ratio. All everyone knows about the radio, like the common people says about the radio. The country populations and you can air home services comprise the 420 stations today located across the country, reaching nearly 92% of the country area and 99.19 the cover the populations. And the communities they serve, they form the import or the third pillar of the media alongside the commercial and the public broadcast and the rare of the crucial part of the healthy pluralistic the media sector. The community radio open only for the educational purpose, that like any institute, like the here the open the community radio Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, the only one purpose the for the people, for the local people, like he is the for the educational purpose, the how to build how to educate the persons like the through the community radio. Like here like latest example for Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University established the community radio. Community radio, what is the role of the community radio? The community radio is the like the gradually growing up the society, the role of the for the people, different talk like the educational purpose and the development purpose, showing and the playing for the people. Its range only 10 to 15 kilometers depend on the society. Such as the example of the UNESCO specification, the demand that the content the community radio stations meets the following criteria, at least the 50% contents. What is the material and what is the like eligibility of the community radio? At least like here the some here the like some eligibility criteria of the community radio. At least the 50% of the contents shall be generated with the participations of the local community for which the stations has been the set up. Programs should be preferably be in the local language and the dialects. Today here not more than 180 community radio station in India, that times 180 radio station in India, and the CRS license given the government entitled them to the operate 100 watt effective radiated the power radio stations with the coverage area approximately a 12 kilometer radius. It may be 10 to 15 kilometer radius is the minimum eligibility of the community radio. A maximum antenna height of the 30 meters is allowed. Given below are the few community radio stations match along with their frequencies. Here the examples like the community radio stations, frequency used and descriptions. Like BAU 90.0 megahertz educational multimedia centers, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, established in the campus of the Dr. Baba Saheb and Charodi opposite the SG highway. And second is the Shivnathi 90.0 megahertz, the Adinagar College of Arts and Science, Tamil Nadu. Apno Radio 90.4 megahertz in the Banasthali Vidyapith, Rajasthan, and Radio Active 107.8 megahertz in the Bhagwan Mahabir Jain College, Karnataka, and the CMS Radio 90.0 megahertz, City, the Masuri schools of the. These are the like example for the community radio. Here was the that times established of the community radio. And recently Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University established the community radio for the educational purpose for the society. What is the role of the print media? People don't actually read the newspapers. The quotation was the Marshall McLuhan. Marshall McLuhan says that the people don't actually read newspaper and they set up into them every morning like a hot bath. Marshall McLuhan says. The India is the one of the few country which offer vast space for the both digital and print. Like you know very well, some people are interested in the print media and some people are interested in the electronic media. And very few countries uses like these kinds of the platform. Here the two, this is the depend on the choices. Some particular Indian people chooses the print media, choices the print media, some the electronic media, and through the digital media. And the print media first came to existence in the India when in India 70-80 in the through the James Augustus Hickey in the Bengal Gazette. Hickey the first times introduced the Bengal Gazette in India. Bengal Gazette was the weekly newspaper as a 2 sheets papers. There has been the looking back ever the since. Read below some interesting facts, print media circulations in India. If you think that the traditional media is a seeing decline, then the facts below the surely going to stun you. The print media, here is the like ratio of the print media revenue set up amount 20%, like the huge market 27,000 crore. The print media is likely clock a 20% top line growth and 27 crore the next fiscals, but starting newspaper prices may tear up the 300 and 3 to 350 webs the offering the profit list for the sectors. And these times the print media cost 5 to 10 rupees maximum, like the Times of India and the Indian newspaper, Indian Express, Dainik Bhaskar and Hindi newspapers and Sandesh. All are the difference of price, which is the prices are, it may be 5 to 10 rupees in between. What is the advantage of the newspaper? This is the pocket friendly. You can say that the newspaper is the pocket friendly, and the average newspaper don't cost more than the 5 to 8 rupees. And you can see like you can carry everywhere, carry on the everywhere. And when like where you have a stand or like the sitting, there you can open the newspapers and read out like the what is the depend on the what is your interest. And these times and different features it's come the scenario like the sports, space, internationals and the many flavors. And what is the your like the flavor you can choose about the newspaper. In the broadness your knowledge, what can find like the what is the like what you have the find like the reading about the newspaper. Newspaper not only the develops the critical and analytical ability, but by the offering and the unbiased view report, it broadens knowledge and keeps its reader up to date with the latest happenings and current affairs. These are the like experiences like the role about the newspapers. You can think the different angle, different aspects the any point of view, like any news make the other country, what you can find like the after the reading the newspaper, what is the your points, and then you can think about the critical and the new aspects, new angles. This is the benefits of the newspaper. And second thing, help to the publish your language skills. Students who are the aspiring for a career in media must read newspaper for various reasons, as it not only helps to build a strong opinion over any issues, but it also helps to the sharpen the language skills, which is the quintessential for any journalist. They turn to it the print media either because it is the status, the symbol, because they take the written word the more seriously. These quotes of the Shashi Tharoor, think about like when you listening the Shashi Tharoor is the thinking power and the language skill, the very smart and very bold usage of the vocabulary of the in his species. Please listen to speeches of the Shashi Tharoor. Here are some questions about the these chapters. The first is the what is the advantage of the newspaper, what is change in the radio after the after FM came, and what is the meaning of photographic journalism. There are the three questions. This in after the listening the this video lectures, you can solve these questions. Hopefully you feel better, and this is the very fruitful for your knowledge, and keep going for the future and choose your interest, choose your flavor for the in your future. Best of wishes. Thank you.